This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. It's Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Let's talk about the news. From BBC News, Gabriel Boric, from student protest leader to Chile's president. A highly polarized presidential election in Chile has ended, and a 35-year-old leftist politician named Gabriel Boric has defeated his far-right rival after receiving 56% of total votes. Boric is Chile's youngest-ever president and one of the youngest leaders of a nation anywhere, and has called himself a moderate socialist with a history in activism. He ran on a platform of significant reforms to the country's economic model, which was imposed by a former Chilean dictator, and to follow through with a rewrite of the Constitution, something that was voted upon successfully back in 2019, and which his opponent, who has spoken favorably of that former dictator, said he would oppose. From the Wall Street Journal, judge throws out Purdue Pharma's deal to shield Sacklers from opioid lawsuits. A federal judge has overturned a $4.5 billion-ish settlement with Purdue Pharma, the company behind OxyContin, which is a highly addictive opioid considered to be at the heart of an ongoing opioid crisis in the U.S. and elsewhere around the world, that would have shielded the family behind this company, the Sacklers, from all future lawsuits related to the crisis they allegedly helped create. There's a lot of history underpinning this crisis and the Sacklers, but the quick summary is that they and their top people at Purdue created financial incentives and fraudulent data that encouraged the overprescription of this and similar powerful and addictive painkillers. The family reportedly stripped the company bare before agreeing to this settlement, which allowed them to pocket billions of dollars personally, tucking most of that money away in offshore accounts, while paying a relatively small sliver of their total wealth in exchange for an agreement that would allow them to avoid all future prosecution for their role in the opioid crisis. And this ruling basically says this deal is not in anybody's interest except for the Sacklers, and it therefore cannot go forward as planned. And from the Associated Press, Biden boosts fuel economy standards to fight climate change. The Biden administration has announced new fuel economy standards for the U.S., which will increase them to 40 miles per gallon minimum industry-wide, beginning in 2023 and completed by 2026. That's 25% higher than the standards set by the Trump administration and 5% above what the Environmental Protection Agency suggested earlier this year. This announcement arrived in the wake of a fairly disorienting loss for the Democrats at the hands of one of their own, a senator who said he wouldn't back Biden's platform proposal Build Back Better bill, which contains an array of sustainability-related funding, and it may indicate the administration will attempt to achieve similar goals via other means until they can figure out whether that larger bill will be passable at some point after Biden's first year in office. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.